So, what's your absolute favorite memory from when you were a kid? I'm always fascinated by what sticks with people.
Oh, wow, that's easy. Every summer, my grandfather would take me fishing at this tiny lake near his cabin, just the two of us.
That sounds incredibly peaceful. What made those trips so special for you?
It wasn't even about catching fish, honestly. We'd sit there for hours, and he'd tell me these wild stories about his youth, adventures, mistakes, everything.
I love that. Those quiet moments end up meaning so much more than we realize at the time, don't they?
Exactly. And he taught me how to bait a hook, cast properly, be patient, but mostly he just listened to me talk about whatever was on my mind.
That's really beautiful. Kids need that undivided attention. Did you catch anything memorable?
One time, I caught this massive bass. I was maybe 8 years old. I thought I'd hooked a whale. My arms were shaking trying to reel it in.
Oh my goodness. I bet your grandfather was thrilled.
He was more excited than I was. He took about 100 photos with this old film camera. We released the fish back into the water afterward.
Wait, you released it? After all that effort?
Yeah, he always said the lake gave us the experience, so we should give the fish back its life. That stuck with me forever.
That's such a profound lesson for a child. Your grandfather sounds like he was an incredible man.
He really was. He passed away 5 years ago, but those fishing trips, they're like treasure in my mind.
I can hear it in your voice how much those memories mean to you. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks for asking. It actually feels good to talk about it. What about you? What's your favorite childhood memory?
Mine involves my grandmother's kitchen and the smell of fresh bread every Sunday morning. Just thinking about it makes me smile.
There's something about grandparents and their kitchens, isn't there? They have this magic we can never quite replicate.
Absolutely. I think it's the love they baked into everything, literally and figuratively.
You know, what memory I can never shake? The first time I built something with my own hands.
Ooh, tell me more. What did you build?
A treehouse. Well, more like a platform with walls. I was 10, and my dad gave me this challenge to design and build it myself.
Wait, he just let a 10-year-old use power tools? That's bold parenting right there.
He supervised, of course, but he made me figure out the measurements, the angles, how much wood I needed. It was like a real project.
I love that he trusted you with that responsibility. Did it turn out the way you imagined?
Not even close. It was lopsided, the door didn't quite fit, and one wall was shorter than the others.
But you finished it. That's what matters.
Exactly. And my dad never pointed out the flaws. He just said, "You built this. You should be proud." And I was.
That's actually really sweet. Did you spend a lot of time up there?
Every day that summer, I'd bring books, snacks, my sketch pad. It was my fortress of solitude.
I bet that's why you became an architect. You caught the building bug early.
You know, you're probably right. I never connected those dots before, but yeah, that treehouse sparked everything.
It's funny how one childhood project can shape your entire career path.
What about you? Any childhood memory that influenced who you became?
Definitely. When I was 7, I organized a neighborhood carnival in my backyard, charged 50 cents admission, had games, prizes, everything.
Wow, entrepreneurial from the start. How did that go?
I made $43, which felt like $1 million back then. But more than the money, I loved bringing everyone together and seeing them have fun.
And now you're in marketing, creating experiences for people. It all connects.
Exactly. That little carnival taught me that creating joy for others is the best feeling in the world.
I think we both learned who we were meant to be when we were still kids.
My favorite childhood memory might sound simple, but it meant everything to me.
I'm all ears. The simple ones are usually the most powerful.
Every Friday night, my whole family would gather in the living room. My parents, my 3 siblings, sometimes cousins. We'd play board games for hours.
That's actually really special. My family could never sit still long enough for a full board game.
We were incredibly competitive. Monopoly games would last 3 hours. We'd laugh until we cried, argue over rules, make ridiculous deals.
Did anyone ever flip the board in frustration? Because that happened in my house at least once a month.
Oh, my brother definitely flipped Scrabble once when I spelled a 7-letter word that landed on a triple word score.
That's hilarious. I bet he's still bitter about it.
To this day, he claims I made that word up. But what made those nights magical wasn't winning or losing.
What was it then?
It was being together. No phones, no TV, no distractions. Just us, fully present with each other.
That's beautiful. And honestly, kind of rare these days.
I know. That's why I treasure that memory so much. We were never wealthy, but we had that time together, and it was priceless.
Did you carry that tradition into your own life?
I try to. Every Sunday, my husband and I have game night with our kids. I want them to have that same sense of connection.
You're giving them the greatest gift. Those memories will stay with them forever.
I hope so. What's your go-to childhood memory? Something that makes you smile when you think about it.
Mine involves my dad's terrible cooking attempts. He was convinced he was a master chef, but everything he made was a disaster.
Oh no, did you have to eat it anyway?
We'd sit there choking down burnt lasagna or oversalted stew, and he'd ask, "Delicious, right?" with this hopeful look.
That's actually really sweet. He was trying.
He really was. And looking back, those disastrous dinners are some of my fondest memories because he put his heart into them.
Let me ask you something personal. What childhood memory still brings you pure joy when you think about it?
That's easy. This summer, I rescued a baby bird that fell from its nest.
How old were you when this happened?
9 years old. I found this tiny sparrow on the sidewalk, barely alive. Its wing was injured.
What did you do? Most kids that age wouldn't know how to help.
I carefully picked it up with a towel and begged my mom to let me bring it home. She was hesitant, but she saw how much I cared.
Did you manage to save it?
With my mom's help, yes. We researched what to feed it, made a little nest in a shoebox, kept it warm.
That must have been incredibly delicate work. How long did you care for it?
3 weeks. Every few hours, I'd feed it with an eyedropper. I named her Pip.
Pip, that's adorable. What happened after 3 weeks?
Her wing healed, and she started hopping around, flapping her wings. My mom said it was time to let her go.
That must have been heartbreaking for you.
It was heartbreaking. I cried for an hour before we took her outside. But then something magical happened.
What happened?
We opened the box, and Pip just sat there for a moment, looking at me. Then she flew up to a branch and chirped this beautiful song.
She was saying thank you.
That's exactly what it felt like. She stayed in that tree for about 10 minutes, singing, and then flew away.
I'm getting emotional just hearing this story. Is that why you became a veterinarian?
100%. That moment showed me that helping animals was my calling. I've never doubted it since.
That's an incredible origin story. You literally found your purpose at 9 years old.
I'm lucky that way. Not everyone gets such a clear sign about what they're meant to do.
My favorite childhood memory is way less profound than yours.
Don't say that. All memories matter. Tell me.
I remember the first time my dad let me stay up late to watch the stars. We laid on the roof with blankets and he taught me constellations.
Oh, that's beautiful. See, it's about connection and learning, just like my story.
You're right. I guess we both found our paths through those childhood moments.
I've been thinking about this question all day. My favorite childhood memory involves art, naturally.
Of course it does. Tell me everything.
When I was 8, my aunt gave me this massive set of colored pencils, 72 colors. I'd never seen anything so beautiful.
72? That's a serious art supply for a kid.
Right? I felt like a professional artist. I spent the entire weekend drawing everything I could see.
What did you draw?
Our garden, my cat, my family. The view from my window? I filled an entire sketchbook in 3 days.
That's incredible dedication. Were you any good?
Honestly, they were pretty rough, but my aunt hung every single drawing on her refrigerator like they were masterpieces.
That's the kind of support that shapes an artist.
She never criticized, never suggested I color inside the lines or make things more realistic. She just celebrated my creativity.
That's powerful. When did you realize you wanted to be an artist professionally?
Probably that weekend. Those colored pencils unlocked something in me. I understood that creating things made me happy.
And now you design for a living. Full circle.
Exactly. I still have those colored pencils, actually. They're worn down to tiny nubs, but I can't throw them away.
That's beautiful. They're like a talisman of where you started. What about you? Any childhood memory that led you to become a chef? Oh yeah. Christmas morning when I was 7, my grandmother was making traditional tamales, and she let me help.
That sounds like such a warm memory.
It was magical. The kitchen was steamy and warm, filled with the smell of masa and spices. She showed me how to spread the dough, add the filling, fold the husks.
Did yours turn out well?
They were lumpy and misshapen, but she cooked them anyway and made everyone try one. My uncle said it was the best tamale he'd ever eaten.
He was probably lying, but in the sweetest way.
Absolutely. But it made me feel like a real cook. From that moment, I wanted to make food that brought people together.
Food and art are similar in that way. They're both about creating experiences and emotions.
I never thought about it like that, but you're totally right. We're both in the business of making people feel something.
To childhood memories that shaped our entire lives.
I'll toast to that. Those moments are everything.
You want to hear about my favorite childhood memory? It involves fire, ironically.
Given your profession, I'm very curious now. Tell me more.
Every 4th of July, my entire neighborhood would gather for this massive fireworks display. My dad was in charge of setting them off.
That sounds both exciting and slightly terrifying for a kid.
It was. I'd sit on the grass with my mom and siblings, watching my dad light the fuses and run back to safety.
How old were you during these displays?
From about 6 to 12, those were the golden years. The anticipation would build all day long.
What made it so special beyond just watching fireworks?
The community. Everyone brought food, shared blankets, kids ran around playing tag while adults talked and laughed. It felt like the whole world was our family.
That sense of belonging must have been incredible.
It really was. And when darkness fell and the fireworks started, everyone would get quiet and watch together.
There's something about shared awe that connects people deeply.
Exactly. I remember looking around at all these faces illuminated by bursts of color, everyone smiling, some people crying happy tears.
That's a beautiful image. Is that why you became a firefighter? Because of your connection with fire?
Partly, yeah, but more because those nights taught me about community and protecting people. That's what firefighting is really about.
You protect the community that shaped you. That's really meaningful.
What's your favorite childhood memory? Does it connect to photography?
It does, actually. My mom gave me a disposable camera when I was 10 for a family vacation.
Just one disposable camera? That must have been tough with limited shots.
27 pictures. I had to be so intentional about what I captured. Every photo had to matter.
That's actually great training for a photographer, learning to be selective.
That's what I realized later. I photographed the ocean, my sister's laugh, my dad falling asleep with a book, random beautiful moments.
Did they turn out well when you got them developed?
Some were blurry, some were overexposed, but a few were magical. One photo of the sunset through beach grass was absolutely perfect.
Do you still have them?
In an album at my parents' house. Sometimes I flip through it and marvel at how that 10-year-old saw the world.
She saw it with wonder. That's probably why you're such a great photographer now.
Those 27 pictures taught me more about photography than any class ever could. My favorite childhood memory takes place in the forest behind my house. I spent hours there every day.
What were you doing out there all alone?
I wasn't alone. I was with the trees, the birds, the streams. I'd build little fairy houses out of sticks and moss.
That's incredibly sweet. Did you believe fairies actually lived there?
Part of me did, absolutely. I'd leave little offerings of berries and flowers, hoping they'd appreciate the homes I built.
What did your parents think about you disappearing into the woods?
They encouraged it. My mom would pack me snacks and say, "Go explore, but be home before dark."
That kind of freedom is rare for kids these days.
I know. I learned so much from those solitary hours. I'd watch ants build colonies, track deer through the underbrush, identify plants.
You were becoming a scientist without even knowing it.
Exactly. One day, I found this crystal clear stream I'd never noticed before. I followed it for over a mile, discovering a small waterfall.
That must have felt like finding treasure.
It did. I claimed that waterfall as my secret place. I'd sit there and imagine I was the only person who knew it existed.
Were you the only person who knew about it?
Probably not, but in my mind, it was mine. I even named it Crystal Falls.
That's adorable. Do you ever go back there?
I visited last year when I was home for the holidays. The waterfall is still there, still beautiful.
How did it feel seeing it as an adult?
Bittersweet. It seemed smaller, but the magic was still there. I sat by it for an hour, just like old times.
Those places hold pieces of our younger selves, don't they?
They do. What's your childhood memory that stuck with you?
Mine involves music, naturally. My uncle's old guitar that he gave me when I was 9.
Did you know how to play?
Not at all, but he showed me 3 chords and I practiced until my fingers bled.
That's dedication. What was the first song you learned?
A terrible rendition of a classic rock song. It sounded awful, but to me, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever created.
Because it was yours. You made that sound happen.
Exactly. That guitar became my best friend. I'd play for hours, making up melodies, singing terribly.
And now you're a professional musician. That guitar changed your life.
Can I share something that might sound silly? My favorite childhood memory involves losing a tooth.
That's perfect for a dentist. Tell me the story.
I was 6, and this loose tooth had been bothering me for days. I was too scared to pull it out myself.
I remember that feeling. The tooth hanging by a thread, but too nervous to do anything about it.
Exactly. So my older sister convinced me to let her tie it to a door handle with dental floss.
Oh no, the classic door slam method. Did it work?
She promised she'd count to 3 and close the door gently, but on 2, she slammed it shut.
I can only imagine your reaction.
I screamed, but then realized the tooth was out and it hadn't hurt at all. I was so proud of myself.
Even though your sister tricked you.
That's what made it special. We laughed about it for hours. Then I put the tooth under my pillow for the tooth fairy.
How much did you get?
A whole $1. I felt like a millionaire. But the best part was the note the tooth fairy left.
There was a note?
Written in tiny handwriting on a piece of paper the size of a stamp. It said my tooth was the most beautiful one she'd collected that week.
That's adorable. Your parents really went the extra mile.
Years later, my mom admitted she'd practiced writing miniature letters for hours to make it look authentic.
The effort parents put into maintaining magic is incredible.
That memory is why I became a dentist. I wanted to help kids not be afraid of losing teeth.
That's such a sweet connection. You're still creating positive tooth memories for children.
That's the goal. What about you? What's your favorite childhood memory?
Mine involves the library, naturally. My dad would take me every Saturday morning.
Was it a special bonding time for you two?
It was everything. We'd spend hours browsing shelves, and he'd let me check out as many books as I could carry.
How many could you carry?
I'd stack them up to my chin, sometimes 8 or 9 books. The librarian would laugh and help me to the car.
That's a beautiful tradition. Did you read all of them?
Every single one by the following Saturday. Then we'd return and start all over again.
Your dad fostered a love of reading that became your career.
He gave me the greatest gift. Those Saturday mornings shaped who I am. I'll never forget the first time I flew. Not in a plane, but in my mind.
That's cryptic. What do you mean?
When I was 7, my dad built me this incredible tree swing. Not just any swing, but one that went really high.
How high are we talking?
High enough that I could see over our fence into the neighbor's yard. I'd pump my legs as hard as I could, going higher and higher.
That sounds terrifying to me.
It was thrilling. At the peak of each swing, there was this moment where I felt weightless, like I was actually flying.
And now you're a pilot. Makes perfect sense.
I'd close my eyes and imagine I was a bird, soaring above everything, the wind in my hair, the rush in my stomach.
Did your parents worry about you swinging so high?
My mom did. She'd watch from the kitchen window, probably having a heart attack, but my dad understood.
Understood what?
That I needed to fly. He'd tell my mom, let her dream. She's not going to fall.
Did you ever fall?
Once, I jumped off at the highest point, thinking I could actually fly, landed in a bush, scratched up, but laughing.
You were fearless. Most kids would have been traumatized.
I climbed right back on that swing. My dad just shook his head and said, one day you'll fly for real.
And here you are, a pilot. He must be so proud.
He cried when I got my wings, said he knew it from the first time he pushed me on that swing.
That's an incredible full circle moment.
What's your favorite childhood memory? Something that defined you?
Mine involves my grandfather's garage and his old truck that never ran.
A project vehicle?
More like a permanent fixture. That truck sat in his garage for years. He'd let me help him tinker with it every weekend.
Did you ever get it running?
That's the thing. We weren't really trying to fix it. We were just spending time together, learning how engines worked.
So it was never about the truck.
Exactly. It was about him teaching me patience, problem solving, how things worked. He'd explain every part, every function.
And now you're a mechanic. He planted that seed.
He gave me a trade and a passion. That rusty old truck taught me everything.
The memory that defined my childhood happened during the worst week of my life.
That's an intriguing start. What happened?
I was 11 and my parents were going through a divorce. I felt like my world was falling apart.
That must have been incredibly difficult for you.
It was devastating. I didn't want to go to school, didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to hide.
How did you cope with all that pain?
My neighbor, Mrs. Chen, noticed I wasn't playing outside anymore. One afternoon, she knocked on our door with a plate of cookies.
That was sweet of her.
She asked if I wanted to help her garden. I didn't, but I went anyway because my mom encouraged me to get out.
Did gardening help?
Mrs. Chen didn't make me talk about the divorce or ask how I was feeling. We just planted flowers together in silence.
Sometimes silence is exactly what we need.
After an hour, she said something I'll never forget. Plants grow even when it's difficult. You will too.
Wow, that's profound.
I started crying right there in her garden. She just hugged me and let me cry. Didn't try to fix anything.
She gave you space to feel everything.
I went back to her garden every day that summer. We planted vegetables, flowers, even a small tree.
Did it help you process everything?
More than any therapy could have. Watching things grow from tiny seeds into beautiful plants taught me about resilience.
And now you're a social worker, helping people through their difficult times.
Mrs. Chen showed me that small acts of kindness can save someone. That's what I try to do every day.
She changed your life by just being present. That's beautiful.
What about you? What childhood memory shaped who you are?
Mine is happier, but equally important. Baking bread with my grandmother every Sunday.
There's something special about grandmothers and their kitchens.
She'd wake me up early and we'd start from scratch, mixing flour, kneading dough, waiting for it to rise.
That's a lot of patience for a kid.
That's what she was teaching me. Patience, following steps, trusting the process. She'd say, you can't rush good bread.
That's a life lesson disguised as baking.
Exactly. And when the bread came out of the oven, golden and perfect, the whole house smelled like heaven.
And now you're a baker. You're sharing that same experience with others.
Every loaf I bake carries a piece of those Sunday mornings. I'm passing on her love through bread.